Hey guys, back with another video. This was definitely long overdue, but here it is, first SuperCoach video of 2018, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this season. Only 1 week left, and I'm hoping I can bounce back after a difficult second half to last season. All started with a bad starting side, plenty of injuries near the end of the season, and a few bad trades along the way, all contributed to a poor finish to 2017. And yeah, hoping I can learn from my mistakes this year and go for a better finish. Team names: Drop the Magic, in reference to BT's F-bomb that he dropped in the 2016 Grand Final. And in terms of leagues, I've got my own league up there, number 1, made into Shorty's SuperCoach League, and I'm in a third league that was made by my mate Anthony. So yeah, time to move on to the side. So here is the team. I'll start off in defence. Rory Laird and Michael Hibberd, they're pretty much locked in for me. Shane Savage showed some really good JLT form with scores of 145 and 114. And I think last season he strung together 5 straight tons. I'll take a look here since I've got his stats up. Yeah, from round 16 and round 20, scores of at least 101 and a high score of 125 there. So we know he can produce premium scores. It's just a matter of doing it consistently. And I think with Montagna retiring and Savage being the main rebounder, I think he can do that. I think it's fair to say that he was the reason that Robertson's scores went downhill last season. So no good for my team last season, but got to move on from that. The rookies: Aaron Norton, Tom Duday, Sam Murray, Jeremy Finlayson, and Lockie Keefe. They've all been solid throughout the preseason, and I'm a little unsure on Keefe, but if he does play, he'll be a really good link with James Sicily there in the forward line with that defender and forward dual position. So if an injury does occur and I need to swap those two around, yeah, that'll be a very handy link to use. Moving on to the midfield, and this is the big one here. Paddy Dangerfield with a low-grade hamstring strain that he suffered against the Bombers, battling to be fit for round 1. And I'll hold him for now. Hopefully he does start against Melbourne. If he's ruled out before the round begins, then I can restructure my team. If he's a late out on the day, then the options are limited, but there's still some solid options there. Clayton Oliver, Joel Selwood, Mitch Duncan, Luke Parker, and Josh Kennedy, just to name a few. So there are some solid options there, but afterwards it would be a matter of how to get Danger back in if I had to trade him out because he's laid out. So we'll have to see what happens there. It might have to be a sideways trade because after all, it is Danger. So yeah, we'll see when that time comes. Hopefully he does start. I'll hold him for as long as I can, like I said. Dustin Martin, it was a matter of, well, for me, it was either starting with Dusty or Tom Mitchell. Mitchell, I think, is more consistent, but Dusty's got a much higher ceiling. You want those captain scores. You want to have a solid loophole option. I think Dusty is that. He's got a much higher ceiling than Mitchell, and I'll lock him in. Josh Kelly broke out last season. Was an absolute gun, and I think he can take it that step further this season as well. Nat Fife, absolute lock. Probably my biggest regret of last season was trading out Fife. And yeah, because he went off after the bye rounds. And yeah, just got to lock him in start this season for sure. And Paddy Cripps, priced at 97 average. Definitely has a higher ceiling than that. I got to take into account the fact that he had that 25 when he got injured in the second quarter. Also that 50 to start off last season. Bad preseason. Yeah, decided to start with him as a pod, and I definitely picked the wrong player, of course. And yeah, that's probably one of the mistakes that I have to learn from is don't start players with a bad preseason, and I ended up starting with Goldstein and Cripps, and yeah, those were definitely bad options. I might be contradicting myself in saying that because I do have Dangerfield in my team right now, but he is Paddy Dangerfield, so I think it's fair to leave him as an exception, and I'll definitely give him as much time as possible. Hopefully he does start, like I said, in round 1. Moving on to the rookies, Andrew Brayshaw from Freo, definitely looking like the biggest rookie lock out of all of them. Will Brodie showed some pretty good signs in the preseason. Hopefully becomes a regular, hopefully does have a regular spot in the 22 for Gold Coast. And Tim Kelly looked very good for the Cats as well. On the bench there, Bailey Banfield, he showed some good signs as well. I think he scored 96 in 39% game time against the Crows in the first JLT game, so that's something right there. And then he scored, I think, a 75 in the second game, so he definitely deserves a round 1 spot. Don Barry, he's looked pretty good for Port, and Nick Holman as well. A couple of 70s, I think, for him, and with that basement price, hopefully he does start round 1 because he's an absolute lock. Star's a rookie for sure. In the rucks, Max Gawn, lock him in, and Toby Nankervis, bit of a pod, bit of a weird decision there because you'd probably expect a Steph Martin or Paddy Ryder. I would have locked in Paddy Ryder if it wasn't for that round 10 bye. And Steph Martin, he looked good, but I want to have Paddy Ryder in that final side, and there's really no point sideways trading Martin to Ryder. I can see more merit in trading Nank to Ryder, even though at that price you'd probably want to keep Nank, but I feel like Gawn and Ryder will be the top 2 rucks at the end of the season, and yeah, I could hold Nank until that round 10 buy is over and then trade him to Ryder, but that's my thinking going into the season. We'll see how it goes as the season goes on, but that's my thinking for now. I know it's a little iffy because Nank is at a price that you'd rather want to keep her, but we'll see what happens as the season goes on. But I would rather have Ryder there. I don't want to cop the donut in round 10, but we'll see how it goes. In the forward line, I've gone a little deeper as there haven't been many rookies that have shown promise. I've opted to not start Heaney for now. I say for now because there is still a week left and things could change, but for now I have decided to not start with him as I think I can get him slightly cheaper as the season goes on. So I've gone with Billings instead. Looked good in his only JLT game that he played. Got plenty of the ball. Got a goal. Scored, I think, 92 or 93 in 76% game time. So they look good. And yeah, I think he can definitely increase that 92 average that he's priced at. Toby McLean, a bit of a pod at the moment. Did spend a lot more midfield time late last season, and his scores reflected that. And that's why I think he can improve from that 85 average that he's priced at. If you look here, from round 14 onwards, dropped a couple of poorer scores in 61 and 77, but scores of 86 or higher from rounds 14 to 23 with, like I said, the exceptions of the 61, 77 there. Dropped 4 tons. Looked pretty good there, 97 and 98 as well. So showing some promise, McLean, and yeah, definitely think he can be up there in the top forwards to end the season. Devon Smith looking to spend a lot of midfield time at the Bombers, and I've locked him in there. Christian Petrarca, same goes with him. I'm not too sure if I have to restructure my team before round 1. If Danger's out, then Petrarca will probably be downgraded to a mid-priced sort of quote-unquote rookie. So maybe like a Christensen or Tom Bell, even though Christensen hasn't shown much in the JLT, which he's been pretty poor as a matter of fact. But we'll see what happens there. Hopefully don't have to restructure the side, but if it needs to happen, then Petrarca will probably be the first to go, but I have him there at the moment. He did show some good signs throughout the JLT, so we'll see what happens, but he's there for now. James Sicily, priced at, I think, 74 average. I think many people are picking him based on his preseason form and because of his shift to defense from round 14 last season. As you can see there, with the exception of that 25 and 46, and 25 well documented when he got sucked in by Jed Lamb, gave away a lot of frees, so I'm not going to look into that too much because I see plenty of upside in Sicily. As you can see there, he dropped 5 tons. Like, with taking away the 25 and 46 there, his lowest score in that stretch from round 14 onwards was the 87. Like I said, a couple of 90s there, and of course, like I said, the 5 tons. I see plenty of upside. In Sicily, he's got a very SuperCoach friendly game, taking intercept marks, winning a lot of the ball. That's what champion data love. And yeah, just hopefully he doesn't get sucked in too many weeks. And yeah, if we don't have to experience too much of a roller coaster with him, he could be up there as one of the better defenders or forwards this season. Hopefully that's the case. As for the rookies, Bailey Fritsch, he's looked pretty good for the Ds in both their JLT games and should get a spot in round 1. Zach Giles Langdon, shown some promise with the Giants. Not the best SuperCoach scoring wise, but he's definitely looked like one of the better forward rookies out there. Has the red dot as he got a shoulder injury against the Swans, but he did play out the rest of the game, so hopefully he'll be fine for round 1, and hopefully he does start round 1. And Liam Ryan, in my opinion, I feel like he'll end up being a slightly better version of Jared Pickett of last season, so I feel like we'll get maybe not as low as Jared Pickett's scores of last season, but maybe 40s and 50s for the most part. But hopefully he has at least a couple of games where he gets heavily involved, pumps out 70 or 80. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is the team. Hopefully I don't have to restructure it. It does rely on Danger starting in round 1, but yeah, see what happens. The next video will probably be my round 1 side, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't have to be changed. So see you guys in the next video.